What up? So, episode 6. That last episode was fire to me. Maeve. It almost seems as if HBO figured something out when it comes to their sort of like sci-fi and fantasy. So the way they do it with Maeve, I alluded to the fact that it was similar to what they did with Daenerys in the early seasons, where you clearly knew something big was up with her. We barely got to see her, but every time we saw her, she was coming closer and closer to her goals. And that's kind of like where I'm at with Maeve, where it's like, yo, I fuck with her heavy. Yeah, so Ford spoke with the man in black, and that interaction I'm so confused by. I'm trying to figure out more from it. Yeah, that last episode was good. It's one of the best episodes for me so far. But yeah, let's start.
Such a big man, so big all over, except where it counts.
He's like, I'll show her. She's like, Oh, kill her. Yeah. She wants him to kill her.
Don't be shy.
Yo, that's insane. So she fully remembers what's happening now. Where were we? Holy shit. This part is a continuation from last episode. But what just happened with Maeve and Felix isn't a continuation because she woke up again. Blueprints and old parts from the old ones. It's almost like those are the ruins of the original. Did Ford just show up? Yep. That's so cold when he do that. The maid. Again. I think I'm starting to get something. There's certain things that Arnold put in there that he can't really account for or change. It's in the original code, I'm assuming. So that maze thing, he probably knows he can't really stop it. So in that conversation with the man in black, it's like, I can't stop this. But what are you looking for, right? It's just something Arnold didn't let him in on, I think.
There's a legendary man who'd been killed over and over again countless times, but always clawed his way back to life. Man returned for the last time and vanquished all his oppressors in a tireless fury.
Interesting. That was an interesting story about the maze.
I'm human, like the guests.
How do you know?
Because I know.
Yo, that question.
There's one thing I know, it's when I'm being fucked with.
Yeah.
This can't possibly.
Yo, that's so fucking dope. It blew her fucking mind. Try to improvise. Holy shit, man.
So if there's nothing else,
We're done.
Bitch called me here to break up with me. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here. Bitch broke up and we ain't even together. Bitch, all you had to say was we ain't fucking no more. Don't fall for them soft ass hands, nigga. Or them eyes. Or them titties. Or that grin. Just carrying a thing of eyes. Holy shit, man. This would be... I feel like this would make her brain explode also. Holy shit, man. Dolores. So Dolores is like number 1 or 2 on the call sheet, man. Oh, that's the part. Yeah, it comes from another loop that she used to be in. Is she going to ask him to make her forget, or... Like, I wonder how she's going to handle this.
Before that, I was in New Orleans.
No. You've only been the Madam at the Mariposa for the last year or so. They don't rewrite you completely. I mean, they could, but it'd be too much work.
Yeah, that's lazy, though. So, that's the point of making the nightmare thing. Okay, the reason the reason they do the nightmare thing is because they're not fully deleting everything when they do it. They're just making tweaks to the code.
I'm telling QA.
I'm doing this for your own good.
He a hater and a snitch. This is the worst nigga I've ever seen.
Yes, I understand the urgency. I'll do what I can.
Terminate.
Ooh, the board got us some Asian investors. They not playing them games. Y'all not getting Ford out the paint. Ford will blow this bitch up before he let y'all take it. Who smokes cigarettes like that? She got to be European in real life. Ford just fucking that place up.
I know White didn't kill all those men by himself. And I know a thing or two about what's going down right now.
Trying to get yourself killed?
Making peace with past indiscretions. Go!
Oh, no. Wait, she in this show? What's her name? Tessa Thompson? Who the fuck is she in this? I had no idea she was in this motherfucker.
I'm close to finding our saboteur. The tracking data you gave me, it's time-stamped. But once I cross-reference it with sat tracking, we're gonna figure out who programmed him to try to smuggle out our data.
Excellent.
She about to die like a motherfucker. Please don't die.
If QA spent less time treating us like the enemy,
That's a
then
two-way street, Elsie. Teresa's just trying to do her job.
maybe she should try harder.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm not even sure why he did. His response wasn't like, yo, you making it seem like this is on us by the way you talking. Like, you suck also. What the fuck?
Turn the other cheek.
Oh,
New design. That's why I didn't have the heart to destroy them. That and the obvious. Hello, Jock. Good boy.
the Greyhound?
My brother and I roamed the countryside. It's my only happy memory of my childhood.
That's his family? They rebuilt his family?
Arnold built them as a gift. Gave my father in particular a few of his original characteristics.
That's fucked up for Arnold to do.
I'm sure you can indulge me in a little connection with my past.
If I'm him, I'm immediately
Again, Bernard?
going to Shorty and be like, yeah, we gotta get Ford the fuck out of here.
That teetotally Danish bitch.
Oh, she is European. She's Danish.
Executive director of our board. She's here on behalf of Delos to oversee certain transitions in our administration.
Oh, no. Oh, no, sir.
We've met.
Oh, no, sir. Oh, no. I had no idea that chick was European until he just said she was Danish. She's had an accent this entire time? Why is that shaped like the maze? Damn, I thought he just like witnessed him do it in the story that what's his name put into him. God damn. Ford made this motherfucker a monster. Before he was all honorable, upstanding, only do what's right. That man's a monster. He just took out a whole platoon. She about to get killed, man.
You alone?
Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
No. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I never noticed they dressed the same. She about to die like a motherfucker.
I hit pay dirt. I found the person who was smuggling out our data. It was Theresa, Bernard. But she's not our only problem. There's something much bigger going on here.
I'm gonna have to call you back.
She's about to die before she can tell him. Text him. Text that nigga. This is the future of the future. You gotta text him.
Fine. I'd like to make some changes.
Oh, no. No, no, no. She's wildin'.
I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'll forego my cut in exchange for some alterations.
It was a flaw. You can't make her the smartest you allow her to be, but then have those other things. Like she has sensuality, charm. Like she had all these other things that kind of make up for it. That lacking of the other four in her, I guess you would call it cognitive attribute. Like she's cunning like a motherfucker. Oh, don't say hello. You dead to the motherfucking bitch. No, poor white girl.
Last but not least, what was it? Bulk apperception.
Bulk
Let's
apperception.
get that all the way to the top.
Y'all about to turn this bitch into the fucking Terminator. Are you crazy? It all makes sense. Now she doesn't just see the present, she sees the future. If her shit's all the way up like that. I like this fucking show, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. I love this show. First thing, did y'all notice that the two grunt workers, their name is Felix and Sylvester? They're both cats. But let's see. Bulk apperception. Bulk apperception is all the way up. And like I was saying, once you go to a certain point, that what that means is she won't just have a full understanding of the present and what's right in front of her. Now she'll be able to start piecing things together. Her imagination is through the roof, right? So she can now, we're talking abstract thought times 10 more than likely. As the guy Felix said, their brain is more powerful. The only issue is that they're controlled by the humans. This was a cool episode from the start. I had a question about the timing. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not even going to bring that up right now. Maeve walking around and allowing him to take her through all the floors was so interesting because she's going through, she sees it in steps. She sees all these fellow, what she comes to find out, fellow hosts, bloody, destroyed, taken apart. Then she sees skeletal structure. Then she sees one that has the skin on it. Then she sees them adding life into it. Crazy. Then she sees the beast of the field, right? Crazy. Then she goes up to the top. All that's mind-blowing. But she goes up to the top, and the thing she sees is the ad that you see when you first arrive. And you see the storylines, but then you see she sees her. She sees her dream that she kept happening, her nightmare, which we were told, the nightmares, whenever they have a memory of something that was left over, when you forgot to delete it, it became a nightmare. Now, if I recall, they said if it was not deleted, those two guys said that, well, Felix, he insinuated that these people have just been being lazy about it anyway. They just been writing over, making little changes to the code. So that's why they have that nightmare protocol. That makes more sense than what they were saying before. What they were saying before was if somebody made a mistake and didn't delete, and then they wrote some new code, whatever was left, it would be seen as a nightmare. But I was like, why would that ever happen? Well, it turns out these motherfuckers are stupid and lazy. Their protocols that they've been taking at this park has been bullshit this whole time. Like I said, the only motherfucker at first I thought was just going to be same old character. The only one worth a damn is that security. That security, I'm like, oh, a dickhead with a gun. Nah, he the only smart one. Man, what a crazy episode. So we see what Maeve went through. And I'm like, man, that was so interesting. There was a part where she's looking at the tablet and everything she's saying is coming up with the fucking tablet. Because like he told her, yeah, everything you said, you've been pre-programmed. And then she starts trying to fight it. And she fights it so much, her shit fries. Blue screen to death, right? And he brings her to, and I'm thinking, yo, her mind's gonna be blown again by everything she's seeing. But we figure out why she is what she is. So I made an insinuation early, maybe 2 episodes ago, that they changed one of her attributes and it was aggression. And that may have been why she was going on this. But apparently, just by, I don't want to say by nature, just by her original attribute profile, Maeve was already going on this, her bulk apperception, her charm, her sensuality, right? All these scumbag men down there, her charm and sensuality. She'll have her eating out the palm of her hand. You see how these motherfuckers was about her. Then you got her apperception. It was already at 14. They didn't want it at the highest, which is 18, I believe they said. Okay, cool. But there's certain things you have to account for. If you put that all the way to the top, anybody who's ever played a sports game and you created a character, there's certain things you could get away with. You don't have to put it all the way to the top if you have other things set up. So because her profile was set a certain way, eventually this was going to take place, or it was going to come closer and closer to what is happening, which is her piecing things together. Man, that's just so fucking interesting. And then, so here's something, they said it kind of offhand, but it's like, yo, Maeve, they changed her profile, and in changing her profile, they noticed somebody had already been in there fucking with it. That was super high rank. Now, what I'm wondering is this the same people who had been messing with Dolores? Because early on, in that first or second episode, I think, you see Dolores and Maeve pass each other, and I was like, yo, is it a virus? Turns out, no, I was nowhere near it, but it's like they are suffering maybe from the same thing. Because these old models still had that satellite tracking in them, whoever's at the top, they've been fucking with all those old models and making them do things and stuff like that. Theresa, I believe her name is, and they said also someone else. Oh, girl, I knew she was getting killed the moment she was getting too close. I was surprised she was able to get off that much information to Bernard. But it's like, I'm wondering if whoever was messing with Maeve is on the same side as old girl, or are they at odds? Is this a warring, like Ford's over here doing his thing, but you have these two groups or several groups at odds? Because remember, we also have the two guys who showed up. They were talking about they work for a company that's trying to buy this. Then you have Tessa Thompson. She's the head of the board, but you have the chick Theresa. Looks like she's doing her own thing, but we didn't get to find out who else at the top was making these changes. Could it be the board? Excuse me. Could it be the board? I don't think it's the board. And so we talking about sabotage at a whole nother level. Now the mystery, the show starts with the mystery being the park. Not even the park, being Westworld. Then we go on, the mystery is the park. Now the mystery is all these outside forces. And in the same episode that we come to find out it's these outside forces affecting it, we also have Tessa Thompson's character arrive, and it's like, oh. At first I was thinking, is she related to Ford maybe? Because that writer saying what he said was like kind of crazy in front of her. But no, she's even, let's say we're talking government. She's like the Speaker of the House, right? She holds that sort of power. She's at the head. She sits at the head of the board. Wow, man. So she's everybody except Ford's boss in that motherfucker. This episode was insane. And I know there's some stuff that I'm missing. Like, this is insane. Like, yeah, she works there, but for her to be trying to affect things, what is she attempting to do? And then she came and told my man, like, no, we can't be together anymore. Okay. Also, I didn't know that she was from Europe. I made a statement early. The way she was smoking her cigarette, she got to be from Europe. She did that thing where the cigarette was here as her fist was closed. That's something they do. But turns out she's Danish. I had no idea. I don't know how. I didn't notice. But yeah, man, another great episode. Hold on. There's something that I'm missing. Oh, what the fuck? I almost didn't talk about this. Okay. There's a part that is interesting, fascinating, horrifying, creepy, dope. It's just so early in the episode, Sector 17, Bernard, he comes to find out through the help of his assistant. I'm sorry, I never learned her name before she got clipped. They find out that this sector, they were trying to find out the guy who bashed his head in, right? Why was he doing it? And he had to go to the old stuff because this is a very old model. He had to go to the basement, right? I talked about how that's almost like the ruins. I'll get to something after this. It's almost like the ruins. So they just built on top of this, right? They're at the top. And they go down to the bottom. Bernard goes down to the bottom, and he finds out that Sector 17 has other people down there. Five 5 other hosts, not people, other hosts. And they're not accounted for. He couldn't find them anywhere or anything. So he's like, what the fuck? So he's like, yo, I gotta go search. So he goes and searches, uses that little elevator thing, and we see a man in a fucking sweater. He's in like this older house, but it doesn't seem as old as the Frontier, right? It's not a log cabin or something. And the guy is wearing a vest, a sweater vest, so I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Couldn't make heads or tails. I've never said that. That's not a black thing to say. Couldn't make heads or tails. But so he walks in and he's thinking everything is the same way, right? They have this protocol. He's been working there forever. So how he deals with hosts is how he deals with hosts. He's thinking, I'm gonna go in there. He's not even thinking anything's gonna go wrong where they can attack him. But he gets yoked up by the father. The father like, this motherfucker's a goddamn intruder. What the fuck is he doing? Is this one of your friends, boy? Nah. He goes and chokes him up. And my man he says the thing to try to stop him. Nothing works. Ford is there. Ford stops everything. And Ford lets this man know. This was crazy. He lets him know, yeah, these motherfuckers have been here for a minute. You know, this is my own little thing. And then the dog walks in. And I recall the story about the Greyhound. And I'm like, what the fuck? It still didn't hit me at that moment. And then he goes, yeah, Arnold made this as a gift for me. It's my family. What? And then Arnold kept going because Arnold kept going, right? Arnold's thing was, when he created these things, we can make these things as human as possible, can't we? Let's attempt to achieve that. So he seems to have done the same thing with them. He made the father a drunk. Insane. He made the Greyhound. But the biggest thing is, the boy that he had been talking to was himself, I believe. They both dress alike. They have that white collared shirt with the black vest. I'm like, holy fuck. But the little boy is like in a little boy sort of thing. Sort of get up. And Bernard is like, what? I'm like, Bernard did exactly what I said. I would have went right to Theresa and said, we got to get him the fuck up out of here. Because that's crazy. Like, he opens up the boy's face. He says, turn the other cheek. Face opens, and you see this is an old model. It's a bunch of machinery in there. And we're like, yo. But the thing is, they've been tinkered with. These aren't like the other old ones who are like, even the new version old ones. These aren't like those. These ones seem to be doing what they're supposed to. And that was insane. But then we go to Arnold, the little boy says Arnold was the one, like Arnold didn't talk to him. He says the thing chased a rabbit or something like that. And he goes, are you lying? And the boy is like, yes. And Ford seems to come to a realization at that moment. And I wonder what the realization is. Then we go to the Man in Black. I mean, the further you go away from first getting in town, the more harrowing the experience gets. Them motherfuckers was about to get sizzled with the goddamn branding iron of the maze. And the further you go out, the more you see the maze. That's one thing I'm noticing. Remember, the first time you could see the maze, if you so choose to take this game, is at the ranch. Not the ranch, but the place where you see like the Mexican family where Alonzo or Lawrence, whatever his name was from. The first place you could see it is when they're playing they playing bones or whatever. They playing dominoes. That's the first place you can see it. But as it goes on, you've seen it on that casket. You've seen it on the branding iron. You've seen it on this tarot card. So the more further out you go, the more you get these things letting you know almost like you're on the right path. That's crazy. That's crazy. One thing, the boyfriend, I can't recall his name right now, of Dolores, the story was at first, when he went over it with Ford, the story was he was part of Wyatt. He witnessed Wyatt kill all those people. But then he remembered just now, hey, I did all the killing. Like, I helped him. I helped Wyatt with it. So they had to go through that whole thing with those Union soldiers. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out, at that meeting that the Man in Black and Ford had, the Man in Black, he stated, yo, he seemed to have added some fire to you. So at that moment, had he added that part to the storyline? Because the first time, that man believed that Wyatt did that on his own and he witnessed it. Now he's like clear as day. Oh, I did that too. And he turned into a straight up killer. Let's go back to something I noticed. It seems that they have been building on top. There's a thing where they're not getting rid of things. They're keeping this all in house. They can't allow it to get out. Makes sense, right? If we're on Earth, you can't let this stuff get out ever at all. And they're building on top of stuff. But my thing is, where are they? Because all their stuff and junk, they just threw that. Why? Like, for them to build on top of like, they're not actually building, but to put everything in the basement, it's like they can't allow this to get out at all. Okay, makes sense. But it's like, can they not allow it to get out? Or is there no place to put it? That's just a little thought I got. Because it's like, why wouldn't they just burn that shit up? Right? Why they just put it down there? It may just be they have no place to put it. But then where are they in relation to Earth? But another great episode. This was insane. Maeve is like, they made her the fucking Terminator. Now, you see her do a thing where it's like, she's like, oh yeah. Because she had already pieced everything together. But now it's like I said, now she's putting everything together. She's going to be smarter than everyone in that building. Everyone involved in the show, she's going to be better than. Because they already insinuated. These things have the potential to be better. The only thing stopping them is the humans. So, does she raise everyone else up? Will she be the messiah for the host? That'd be fucking insane. Once again, great episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, hit the notification bell. Man, another good episode. Next episode.